Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer the elemental energy reading for the elemental energy of Earth for April of 2025. Earth covers the zodiac signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So if you're curious as to why I read for the elements instead of the zodiac, you can check it out in the linked video in the description. There's also a natal chart. If you've never had your charts read, this is a good introduction to what it all is. It gives you your 12 houses with all the signs and symbols, and then it's a 10 to 20 page description of what all that means. It's pretty handy if you've never had them read before, and they're affordable. That helps. And that's not like a sponsored thing. It's just a tool that I've used, and I like to share the information. So with that, we'll get started with our I-ching hexagram, and I cast the hexagram before the video. And Earth, you have number 61, which is inward confidence and sincerity. Inward confidence and confidence and sincerity. Dolphins, good fortune. It is advantageous to cross the great river or sea. Persistence in the right course brings reward. Earth, whatever it is that you've been working on, there's coming to something big is coming in for you right now, and that's where this is the good time to cross the great river or sea. It's also saying that dolphins are showing up to guide you. If you look back to history, dolphins would guide sailors through rough waters. At least that's the stories they've told us. And when you look at it from that perspective, and then persistence in a right course brings reward, if you have the support you need and you are staying persistent, when they talk about right course or righteous persistence, it's saying that you're doing things the moral and ethical way. You're doing things the way that is the most focused towards what you're going for without stepping on other people. So when you're going that direction, this is where things are actually moving really well for our Earth family. And inward confidence and sincerity, this is you being real with yourself. This isn't other people. This is where you're looking in the mirror and going, you know what, I've been doing this. I know what I'm doing. This is where I'm headed. And I love myself and I love what's going on. Not narcissism. It's that healthy respect for the self. So let's break it down. Starting with our foundational line. The officer in charge of hunting and fishing, good fortune. The presence of others would give rise to anxiety. They're saying that this is the energy of you're kind of on your own. You might have one other person helping cross this great sea, but you're able to handle a lot of this load on your own, and that's because you have that confidence in your own talents, your own skills. Other people might be having their own opinions. That's on them, but you, the officer in charge of hunting and fishing, good fortune, they're saying that this is you. You're the one that's in charge of where things are headed, whether that is going out and seeking out the next step, whether that is going out and harvesting what you have sown. You're the one in charge. So that's a good way to start your foundation here. Our second line is, oops, there it is. A crane sings in the shade. Its young ones follow suit. I have a fine goblet and I will share it with you. Your success, the things that you've been doing, they're actually overflowing from where you have started, and other people are being influenced by this, which is actually pretty cool in the long run. You have a fine goblet and you share it. That means the things that you have acquired, the knowledge, the skills, other people are either being inspired by you, which is indirect sharing, or they might be coming to you for advice like, okay, I see fill in the blank. How did you do that? Like, they're baffled because you, Earth, have made this look so easy on the outside. People don't have a clue what you've been dealing with behind the scenes or inside. They're seeing the ease and flow of how you just kind of roll with the punches. The universe hands you something, you make diamonds out of it, which is really cool. You've got a good reading going on here. So for our third place, this first broken line, he makes an enemy, beating a drum by fits and starts, he weeps and sings in turn. This is not always the greatest thing. So they're saying there will be times if you happen to get a little puffed up is the word they keep showing. They keep showing me like a chicken with its chest puffed out. So if you get a little puffed up, that's where you're a little too full of what you're doing. Like, oh, I've got all this going on. I am showing all the people the things. This is where that enemy is made, and it's not actually beneficial. They're saying this is a good time to hold on to that righteous persistence, the right courses, because getting too full of what you're doing, as in, oh, I'm so awesome, like, self-confidence is great, arrogance is a problem, and there's a fine line between the two. But they're saying that this is where if you get into that arrogant aspect of it, that narcissistic, I'm so much better than other people version, this is where you could make some issues. And they're saying middle of the month is when this energy is going to be a little tricky for you. So let's take a peek at our 4th place line. A team of horses strays just before the full moon, no error. So it's saying that even if something is a little bit off, you are able to bring it back together. It's just a matter of you might get caught with like that enemy that's popping up, that negative aspect that's showing up for you, is to corral you, to bring you back in. And they're saying, my guides are really pointing out the full moon plays a role in this. So pay attention to how that moon energy is showing up. I don't even know what the moon's sign is this next cycle, but really focus on what that full moon's doing, because they're saying that this could be the message that helps unravel the arrogance, showing you the righteous path again and bringing you back into alignment. That's where they're saying that a team of horses strays just before the full moon, no error. There might be a little bit of a hiccup there just before the full moon, just before the fruition of what it is you are striving towards. And they're saying this is more business, but there's a few of you out there watching where this could actually be applying to personal relationships or something personal that you're working on. You're about to have that breakthrough, but it's not feeling great right now. So our 5th place line, he seems to be pulled forward by his confidence in what he is doing, no error. This is what other people are seeing. They're seeing you with this confidence, with this inner strength, and you are going for it, and they're still in awe. Like, they saw that hiccup and they're like, haha, he failed, or she failed, but you didn't. And now they're going, how? How are you going forward? How are you still succeeding? This is baffling to them. It's not to you, because you're seeing what's going on behind the scenes. You're the one that's had to wrestle the stuff building up to this point. And what they're saying is this is the time where your reward is going to start to show up for you. And everyone else is noticing, and they're just a little bit on the jealous side. So let's see what our capstone is. The noise of cocks, roosters, crowing rises to the sky. No, to persist now would bring misfortune. Once you have succeeded, once whatever it is that you are working on has come to fruition, they're saying this is towards the end of the month, this is not a time for you to beat your chest and be like, I succeeded, you all failed. That is going to end up being some negative energy. This is a warning, not a for sure is what they're saying. They're saying really work with the energy of what you've been building. Allow that momentum to carry you forward. If you get a little too full of yourself, again, that chicken puffed out doing his thing, that's when you're going to trip, because you're not paying attention to what your goal is anymore. You're now looking at everyone else being like, I'm so much better. Not where we're headed. So Earth, keep that righteous persistence, keep the right course moving forward for you, and move in that way. That way you step in grace, dignity, and beauty, and other people want to emulate you. They want to be like you as you move forward, and this is what your example is. This is what you want to leave as a legacy. Whether you have children or not, people are paying attention to you, and that's kind of the implication there towards the end, is keeping that honesty, keeping that peace going through you, because that's going to actually be what people are going to remember later on down the road. So now we're going to hop into the cards, and I read intuitively, so the messages that come through are going to obviously be from them and not from just the cards. We look at each week individually. There's about 5 weeks in April, and We look at a guide or guardian, someone who is supporting you, or some energy that's coming in to be beneficial for you, a message from source, some positive assurance, some reinforcement, things like that. And then we pull some tarot just to see anything further that needs to be known. Sometimes it's a lesson, a challenge, sometimes it's just a little more clarity, because the tarot's good about peeling off band-aids. So if you're interested in any of the cards or books, they're also linked in the description. Anyway, well, that's interesting. We had a dolphin show up in your I-ching. It was part of the overall hexagram. And your first guide is the dolphin. Live joyfully in the present with Archangel Jules. The dolphin energy is very much about expansion, joy, but it's also your connection. And this is interesting. Pay attention to the people around you who are water, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, because they are going to be your support system, is what I'm hearing. They may not be outwardly supporting you. They might be like they're showing up to help you carry the load, but they're the ones who are actually going to help keep you on the straight and narrow. But with the dolphin energy, this is that reminder that no matter what happens, if you can't find joy, if you can't find happiness, if you can't be playful a little bit, what's the point? Like, yeah, you might be making all the money, but you're miserable. What fun is that? You might be in that relationship, everyone else is envious because you have the perfect person, but they're mean, they're ruthless, and they don't even like being around you. That's not helpful. That's not healthy. The dolphin is saying, make sure you're in the right mindset. The goals are important. That's what your purpose is. Like, that's what you're focusing on this month. But have fun along the journey. That's the beauty of our existence, is we are expanding, we are growing, but we're not forgetting that we are here to have fun too. So enjoy the ride. Your message from source is cracked open, hitting rock bottom, surrendering to the alchemy of life. They're saying that this is, as you go through this month, you're going to develop a little bit more of an understanding of yourself. It's an ongoing mission, but you felt a little, they're saying stagnant or stuck. This month is going to have some revelations for you where there's aha moments, that burden kind of falls off. You're peeling away another layer of the onion, if you will. And this is where you start to understand, I'm not at rock bottom. I had to be planted, and now I can bloom. So you've got this little bit of an energy of, it might be the darkest just before the dawn or something along those lines. God, Source, Divine, the energy I'm getting is, don't give up. Just because things may not be showing up in the moment the way you would like them to. The I-ching, which looks at huge energies that are moving around you, is saying that's understandable because you are shifting. You are moving out of where you were, and sometimes you have to leave something behind. You have to tear away an illusion to be able to step into that next level. So your tarot is the King of Raphael, warm, generous, honorable, and refined. It is safe to trust, the ability to accomplish many things at once, and following your creative passions. The tarot in this aspect is actually saying you're going the right direction. Look at all the water. Is that dolphins? You've got a lot of dolphin energy going on in this first week. Your reading is very much dolphin-oriented Earth, which is kind of impressive. But with King of Raphael, it's saying that you have done the things. Now it's time to trust the universe has your back. Again, that playful energy with the dolphins is coming forward, knowing that you have guides and guardians, and tap into that water energy. Those emotions, they're not really your enemy. This is a time for you to grow. This is a time for you to expand. And they're saying sometimes growth is uncomfortable, but overall, you're going to enjoy the outcome. Keep the focus on the important stuff, whether it's that relationship going deeper, whether it is that business starting up, whether it's that job taking the promotion, whatever it is. Someone's a painter, I just heard that. So if that's that painting that you've been stuck on this month, try something a little different with some inspiration. They're saying if you work with watercolors, try charcoal. Do it on a different project. Don't work on a big project. Do it on a different project. Do something that inspires you and stimulates that creation. So, moving on to our second week, we have the energy of the ant. Cooperate for the highest good of the community with Archangel. I always say this angel's name's wrong. Pranimilik. Anyway, we have the end. This is the hard work, and this is what's coming forward in the second week, is these energies are coming in to support the hard work you're doing. Especially when you're having to root through some of your own stuff to take everything to that next level. The work is difficult, but it's doable. It's not outside of the range of skills and talents that you have, Earth. You have been granted a great deal of knowledge, is what I'm hearing. And your skills, where you might feel right now you're rolling your eyes going, oh yeah, sure, I've got skills. You do, whether you realize it or not. God, Source Divine, grants us what we can deal with, but also gives us the tools that we can handle it. It's how we respond is what's important, and the answer coming in saying, sometimes you just have to put one foot in front of the other and just keep plowing forward. Sometimes you're a worker ant where you're just mindlessly doing something. Other times you're the queen, you're planning everything. So each part of your life, each part of the things you're working through, business, relationship, otherwise, you are both worker and the royalty. You're both the laborer and the planner. Basically what they're saying is the second week is, remember that you're the one that makes these decisions. You have to kind of play things out too. So you've got both energies that you're dealing with. Your message from Source is the star family. You're part of a team of souls. Call in the support. This is saying you're not doing this alone, Earth. You're here to really tap in to that star family, whether that is, star seeds, or that is people who are on a spiritual path that may be similar or comparable to yours. Whatever it is, those times where you're kind of struggling a little bit, those things where you don't realize you have the tools, that's where tapping into your friend group can be really important. It's the partnerships, it's that inner circle, that 3 to 5 people that you can trust with everything, like your life, etc. Check in with that crowd if you're feeling stuck, like, I just can't see a way around this, and they'll be like, well, why not try this? Because they're not involved emotionally in the way you are. And that's fine, but that's why they're part of the reason that they're there. One, you enjoy their company, but two, you can trust them. And that's what's they're bringing forward, is trusting your instincts. If your gut's saying one thing and they're saying something different, always go with your gut, but also take the advice and see what they're actually saying. Separate the ego out of it if you can, because that's a trick, but try to be as open-minded to what they're saying as possible. The Four of Ariel is your tarot message. When you give, you also receive, being resistant to change, extremes in how you save or spend money. This is going back into that star family energy where you're part of that team. And when we look at that from that perspective, actually this entire week, the second week, is team. Star family, ants, and Ariel are all telling you that this is the time to work in cooperation with other people. Whether that is outwardly like, hey, I have this project, I can pay you X number of dollars if you help me finish it, or it's like we're doing this big thing together and you're working in that situation. And they're saying if you're in a relationship, this is the time where you can bring your spouse into the inner sanctum of what it is you're working on. But they're saying this is not about you. This is not all about ego level here. They're saying that the give and take, they're helping you because you're also rewarding them, either with knowledge, with compensation of some form, but there's a balance at play here. Giving and receiving are opposite ends of the same energy, and that's what they're wanting to remind you. And be okay with an idea coming in that you didn't think about before, and that could be a challenge. There, it might dig your heels in, but this is the way I've always been doing it. Okay, why not try this way? It's being open to other ideas and suggestions in the second week. Your third week, let's see what guide comes forward for you. There we go. Your third week is the dog. Be disciplined in your home and community life with Archangel Zariel. I'm also hearing this is the time to really tap into your friendships. This is also a really good time to remember those who are loyal, not the fair weather friends where when you're having a tough day, they are gone. This is the time where you can, these people are the ones who are the ride or dies. They've been with you through your ups and through those wonderful nightmarish dark nights of the soul. They're sometimes the ones that help pull you out. And they're also, you've been that way for them. The dog is loyalty going both directions. And it's also saying, it says, be disciplined in your home and community life. The righteous path, staying on that right course. You're doing things for the right reasons. You're doing things the right way. This is coming in to say as a reminder with the I-ching talking about the middle of the month was that there was a hiccup going on just before the full moon. And this is the reminder that this is the time where things could be a little bit of a hiccup. There could be challenges coming in here. There could be a little bit of an ego stepping forward with a hair bit of arrogance. Those are not things that you have to be scared of or worried about. It's things to be aware of. And if that does happen to show up for you, catch it and redirect it. Because arrogance is usually not a good sign. Confidence is awesome. It means you know your skill, you know what you're doing. Arrogance is, I'm better than other people. Okay, someone's going to be better than you, so stay humble. But we're looking at the middle of the message, or message from the source, sorry. The great severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. The dog is saying, this is who you want to be. The great severing is saying, heads up, the middle of this month of April is going to be a little bit challenging. The I-ching mentioned that there's this little ego trip that's going to make hiccup. And the great severing is Mars energy is all about battles. It's conflict. It's looking for a fight. Not always, but that's the vibe we're getting here. And when we're looking at that from that perspective, when you hit that wall and your temper spikes because, well, that person's not on the same side. Hold up. Are they seeing something that you're not noticing? When you soften your own response to stuff, and this is not easy, trust me, when you soften your own response, sometimes you can see something a little bit more clearly. They're noticing a humongous roadblock, but because you are choosing to ignore it, because you have the right path, you're not seeing the detour. They're saying there's this little path over here that if you take it, you dodge all of that nonsense. So that's where that great severing is it's not severing other people. What I'm hearing is you're severing that resistance to change. You're severing that this is the only path because this is what I've been focused on. Yeah, your end game, your end goal, that thing at the very end of the road, that's where you're headed. How you get there can be up and down and all around and in circles and whatever other ways. So don't get too stuck on this is the only path, this is the only way it can happen. There it is. And that's what I'm hearing. It's the severing of this is the only way. There's lots of ways. There's always lots of ways. Every relationship is going to be different. Every business is run different. There are some baselines that are similar. I will not say that they're the same. But that's the thing, is you make it your own because you have taken alternative routes to end up where you're at. And you're going forward with this very strong energy, which is also being brought forward with the 9 of Ariel. Your dreams are fulfilled, hard work leads to success, a love for the beautiful things in life. God Source Divine wants you to understand that the lessons that are coming forward in the second week, which are not pleasant, this middle and second week, third week, it's the middle of the month. When we look at this from this perspective with the I-ching plus the 9 of Air, even when things are out there, maybe not the most pleasant, it doesn't mean that you're alone. It doesn't mean that you failed. Unless you give up, that's a failure. But if you keep focusing on that end goal, that righteous path, keep moving in that direction. They're saying that this is such a beautiful opportunity for you to connect into God's Source Divine. Your friendships, those people in your inner circle, this is a time for them to take a different role, make a little deeper of a connection with this group. That's it. Earth, they're wanting to say that this is the time for you to wrap yourself in the cloak of the Lord and Lady, of the God and Goddess, however you see the divine, and really understand you are a child of the divine energy. What you are going through is enriching the soul in such a way that you may not even fully understand it. Now, you will later. But right now you are having to deal with some of this stuff, but it's testing you. It's trying you. It is putting you through a small fire. You're going to come out stronger on the other side. You're going to come out glowing on the other side, not just from the heat. This is a time for you to really embrace how things are going and what lessons can be learned from it. Okay, your fourth week is the monkey. Experience all that life has to offer with Archangel Raphael. Raphael is both the divine healer, but also a divine communicator. The monkey is bringing forward the joy, the happiness, companionship, and playfulness. So you've got the third week is the dog, where it's loyalty and understanding the discipline, but this week is all about that plus. And that's what I'm hearing is when you have Raphael coming in, this is that healing energy. The third week, however this plays out in the week order for you, the third week is going to be a little bit of the heavy energy. This fourth week is where things are starting to lift. This is where we get back into experiencing life, the joy, the fulfillment that comes with it. That third week is the lesson week. That's where you tap into what you've learned, the tools that you have at your disposal, and that allows you to expand. The fourth week is take a deep breath. You went through that. Now look where you're headed. Things are improving by the day. The seven star sisters, birthing creations, tapestry of life and expression. This is where you get back into the dance of your creativity. This is where you get back into the flow state. You are moving into a beautiful chapter. God Source Divine is saying, this is the time where you are in harmony with the song of the universe. You are dancing to the tune of Gaia. This is your time for growth. Stay focused on the righteous path. Stay focused on the right thing. Crossing that great ocean is not going to be a big deal for you. You have the dolphins. You have this water energy coming in as a supporting energy. They are there to support you, love you, and make you laugh. Remembering why it is you are doing what you are doing, whether it's relationship, business, or otherwise. You're doing this because of the reward for your own soul, but the reward as well for those who are around you, because you're uplifting all of them as you're going. We have the Seven of Raphael, time to make a decision, be clear on what you want, take action, and need for detoxing. This is just a reminder that as you've went through this month, there may be times where you start to doubt. Don't do that. There may be times when you are struggling. God Source Divine understands. That's why you have the dolphins. That's why you have the guides and guardians that you carry. With the Seven of Raphael, if you've had doubts or you're questioning which path would be the best one, that's when you work with the group around you. That's how you help elevate them, because you're showing that, yes, this looks like it's easy, but I'm still learning. I'm still going through the motions of finding out new information. And that's what they're saying. And it's also with that wishing well energy that when you make your decisions, you move into a higher frequency. You're making the wish because you know that you have things lined up, and now it's time to see what is the miraculous thing that God Source Divine is bringing forward for you. For your last week, we have the cat, be relaxed and independent. Still working with Raphael. How many Raphaels do we have here? Just the two? Two guides with Raphael, but you've got two Raphaels in your tarot as well. So Raphael could be a really good energy to work with, even though that's technically your opposite elemental energy. Raphael is the guide of air. Doesn't mean you can't work with them. It's that communication, being more open to new ideas, and that could be that part of that challenge that's coming up here, Earth. But with the cat energy, we're dealing with, this is how you expand. The independence part is you have went your own path. You have done things that might be completely different than anyone else has done them, and you have succeeded where maybe others have failed. Cool. Good for you. But it's also saying, be relaxed. In other words, the work is going to happen one way or another. There's always something to do. But when the cat, you don't see the cat stress or struggle over things. Cats just exist. They do their thing. They don't really worry about it. You're not going to feed them, they'll go catch a mouse. Like they're not stressed about stuff. And that's what I'm hearing for you is this month had a little challenge in it, and that was to help you expand and grow. The month, that challenge was to help you remember your connection to God Source Divine, remember your inner circle, the people who are with you, It could have been a little bit of a course correction to remind you of that righteous path, that right course, because you have the dolphins with you that are laughing, joking, but keeping you on that spiritual elevation. And that's where the cat's coming in, being like, don't worry about the small stuff. That will sort itself out. This is how you've grown. This is how far you've come. A kitten grows into a cat. It's a maturing into not needing other people to tell you what to do, because you can. Earth, you're the one in charge here. You're the one that is stepping into this role, so embrace those growth potentials. Might be a little bit of a struggle, but you are in the position right now to do the great things. All paths lead to home, inner authority, intuition, turning your gaze within. God's Source Divine is saying, your path is your path. Your goals lead you closer to the heart of the Creator. This is how you expand. But by doing things a little bit different, a little more your way, you're living an example to other people. They don't have to do the 9 to 5. They don't have to do the, I hate this term, but it's kind of applies right now, the wage slave thing. They can start their own business. They might have to do the day job for the moment. I hear that. But you also have the opportunity to expand. The day job's paying your bills, so you can do the other thing. And that's what they're saying is, take the promotions. Do the things that make you happy. If the day job's what you want, shoot as high as you can. Build up in that situation to be top dog if you want to go that direction. If you are helping other people and you're training them along the way, then do it with the best of your abilities. Put your heart and soul into expanding. All roads, all paths lead home. God Source Divine, the Lord and Lady, however you see the divine, they're here to remind you that you are a child of the universe. You are a blessed creature. You are someone who is here to expand what life means. Work with it. It'll be interesting. It always is. But you're able to step beyond that and move into that beautiful state. The Knight of Ariel is trustworthy, understanding, devoted, and funny. There is so much to accomplish. Make a very detailed plan. Being watched over by someone kind. The I-ching talks about, by the end of the month, enjoying what you have accomplished. Don't go rushing forward. Don't be braggadocious about it. Enjoy what you have. The Knight of Ariel is saying the same. This is where you come into your own. This is where you step into your authority. This is where you can be the king of your little palace for now. Whatever it is that you've done, you are the one who's done the work. Enjoy what you've accomplished. Don't rush into the next thing. When you finish this one, whatever it is, whether it's that relationship thing that you were trying to build, whether it's getting that business up and going, whether it's applying and accepting the promotion, whatever it is that you have been working on this month, once it's accomplished, enjoy that. Rest in the fact that it's over for now. There's always going to be something new to work on. Don't get me wrong. That's just how it works. But you've accomplished. Embrace that. Enjoy that. That's what they're saying. You're watched over by someone special. Could be your spouse, but it also could be your guides and guardians, your connection to God Source Divine. That's the energy that's coming forward for you this month. Overall, Earth, it looks like you're going to have a really good month. You're going to get a lot done. There's just going to be a lot happening for you. As long as you keep your focus on the right thing, the hiccups are going to be minimal. But if you do have the hiccup, it's there for a lesson, not as a discipline. They, as in your guides, as well as mine, want to have you be supported and encouraged as you process and move through this next section. And they're saying that there's so much amazing things on the other side of this that where you're at, you're going to look back and be like, that's all I was after, because you've expanded your abilities and your mind to that extent. Right now, where you're headed is all you can see, but what's on the other side of that is going to be even better. So I hope that this reading resonated for you. If it did, drop a like. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, comment, let me know your thoughts, feelings, and impressions, and I will see you guys in the next video.